Did Google just get caught cheating? Let's talk about how their recent antitrust case could change the internet as we know it. This is crazy. So, what is actually going on with this? So, recently, Google lost a major antitrust case that could change the way we interact with the internet. But what does that really mean? So, imagine you're a huge marketplace and there's one stall that has the best spot, the most visibility, and everyone is almost forced to shop there. That's essentially what Google has been doing online. They've been accused of using their dominant position to push out competitors and maintain their grip on the market, almost running a monopoly of sorts. So let's just say you're searching for something online. Most of us automatically go to Google. Well, the government argued that Google has been using its power to make sure other search engines don't stand a chance. They've been accused of paying huge sums of money to be the default search engines on devices and browsers, which limits your choices without you even realizing it. And we all know that this is true because most of our phones come with Google already installed. Most computers already have Google installed. So we can see this really happening out there, in the marketplace. So what did the court actually decide? The ruling said that Google's practices were anti-competitive, which really means it's a fancy way of saying that they weren't playing fair. So think of it like a sports game where one team bribes the referees and pays to make sure they have all the best players join their team. Sure, they will win, but is it a fair game? Not really. And the court decided that this is kind of what Google's doing as well. So Google was found guilty of making deals with companies like Apple to ensure that their search engine was the default search engine on iPhones. And this kind of behavior makes it really hard for other search engines to compete. And that's why the court has stepped in and basically found Google guilty. So let's talk about what this really means moving forward. The ruling could have a huge ripple effect for the internet and for search engines out there, not just for Google, but really on the entire tech industry. So if Google is forced to change its business practices, which it seems like it's going to be, it could open the door for more competition, and that means we might have more search engines, newer search engines, and other services that challenge Google's dominance. It could be far more diverse and competitive in the online space, which might actually make it better for us. So if you have, you can imagine that if you have more options to choose from when you're searching online, options that are tailored more to your specific needs, rather than just what Google wants you to see, that's the kind of change this ruling could bring about and make it a more diverse and meaningful marketplace and internet for all of us. So how does this, really affect you? Well, if more competition comes into play, we could see improvements in the quality of online services, more innovation, and possibly even better privacy protections. So for instance, new search engines might offer other features that Google doesn't, or they might handle your data more responsibly. Plus, more competition usually means more companies have to work harder to earn your trust and keep your business. It's like having more grocery stores in your neighborhood. When there's only one, they can charge higher prices, have fewer choices, have lower quality products. But when there's a new store that opens up, they both have to step up their game, which benefits you as the consumer. This is the kind of thing that we're probably going to see as far as search engines go, and as far as Google goes. It's going to open up the marketplace and make everything better for the consumer, or at least that is the hope. We'll see what comes out of this. So let's talk about the bigger picture. How does this fit into the future of big tech? Well, this isn't just about Google. It's part of a larger movement to hold big tech companies accountable. So we're likely to see the floodgates open and more antitrust cases come into and more regulations come into play aimed at leveling the playing field. So companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, who are virtually running quote unquote monopolies out there in a certain respect, are going to be next in line for similar scrutiny and similar lawsuits aimed at making it more fair and not being able to monopolize the market as much. So keep an eye on the developments that you're going to see. This could open the floodgates to that. If you're a business owner, marketer, or just someone who is interested in tech, understand that these shifts could give you a leg up in adapting to the changing landscape. So you got to pay attention to how this is impacting things, future competition, future resources out there that we could use to grow our businesses and improve our businesses. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see how this really shakes things up and how this all plays out. It's going to take time, like everything, but it's going to be very, very interesting. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Google's antitrust case is a huge deal right now, not just for the company, but for all of us who use the internet every day. And it's a reminder that even the biggest players in tech have to play fair. And when they don't, there can be major consequences. And if you were trying to grow your business, I would suggest using the number one SEO tool that I use to grow my website, my businesses, improve my traffic, improve my rank with Journalist AI. It's an auto blogging software, lots of bells and whistles, lots of features in there that you're going to love to give yourself keyword rich articles to put in your website, social media automatically with a couple of clicks. You can try it for free. There's a link below. And if you like this type of stuff, make sure you like, share, follow. I appreciate you. I'll be back soon.